Merci de nous rejoindre sur Africa 24. Dans cette édition de Décryptage, nous recevons Archie Hesse, directeur général de GhIPPS, institution chargée du système interbancaire de paiement et de règlement au Ghana. L'avènement de l'institution en 2007 a permis au Ghana d'intégrer le cercle des pays africains avec les meilleurs systèmes de paiement instantanés et inclusifs. Avec lui, nous discutons du rôle de GhIPPS pour la promotion de l'inclusion financière au Ghana. Monsieur Archie Hesse, soyez le bienvenu sur Africa 24. GhIPPS, institution que vous dirigez, est chargée du système interbancaire de paiement et de règlement au Ghana. Pour le citoyen lambda, quel est le rôle de GhIPPS?
We are responsible for the national payment systems and services in the country. If you look at a country, or in any country, there's a need for you to buy and sell, or pay for your goods and services, or transfer of funds between individuals and corporates, or corporates and individuals. And in every country, the central bank is ultimately responsible for all payment systems in a country. If you look at banks participate in that environment as well. Shops receive funds, and the banks have provisions for ensuring that they are able to and furnish you with the various channels to be able to make payments. Like they are able to give you checks to be able to make payment. They are able to give you cards to be able to make payments. Now, if we allow the banks and the merchants and the mobile money and the fintechs to operate by themselves, what you end up will be loads of silos, etc. Or you might have Bank 1 directly connecting to Bank 2, to Bank 3, but not to 4 and 5. So if a customer of Bank 1 wants to transact with Bank 4, they are not able to. So in order to avoid all these confusion, every country sets up a national payment systems company. And our role is to oversee the development, the implementation, and the operations of a national platform that everybody can hook onto or link to in order to create sanity.
De nombreux opérateurs de systèmes de paiement sur le continent apprennent de votre modèle et expérience. Comment êtes-vous arrivé à un niveau où tous les Africains veulent apprendre de votre expérience?
Central Bank is ultimately responsible for the payment systems in any country or jurisdiction. But it's important to note that the central bank, they are economists and they are interested in regulatory procedures and ensure monetary policies, etc. They are not payment systems specialists per se. And that's one. Secondly, when it comes to the world of payments, it has evolved into IT. So if you are not an IT specialist, you will not be able to come up with appropriate payment systems, products and services for individuals or corporates in a country. So because of the disjoint, we have the responsibility, but in order to provide the services, you need to be IT. Most or some countries are setting up a wholly owned subsidiary, either owned by the banks or by and the central bank, or in terms of ownership structure, we have various different types. But their core function is now to oversee the development, the operations, the implementation, the rollout of all these payment systems, products, and services. And I think Ghana was quite fortunate that way back in 2007, before 2007, all checks were cleared at the central bank. So you can imagine that the evolution of check clearing systems would have been taken care of by the central bank. But as I indicated, it is evolving more in the IT environment. So if they are not IT oriented, you can appreciate what would happen. So Ghana was fortunate to set up a wholly owned entity exclusively devoted to that. And I believe that that focus is what really has helped us along the journey. So much as there's been lots of learnings as to the products and services that we've managed to implement in Ghana within the last 15 or 16 years, it's important not to forget the organizational structure. That's a key enabler that will support some of these things. If you don't have it, I know of some countries where their central bank, their payment systems is within their central bank. Some do not have even the payment systems department. So they look across, it cannot go into research, it can't go into monetary policies, it doesn't fit into this area. So they actually add it to banking, because banking is a business that needs payment systems. But the development of the products and services for payment systems has got nothing to do with banking. Banking is the central bank acts as a bank for government. So they look after government's money and things. So you see that there's a disjoint. The head of payment, at times they divide it. It's not really, you don't have the focus in there. So that was what we had in Ghana. So we were tasked to develop the banking and retail system appropriate for the informal sector, which we came up with eSwitch, as I'm sure you are aware, it's 2008. And then we said, right, what payment systems do we have? We have these check systems. Checks are cleared within 5 days if it's within Accra, 3 to 5 days within Accra, and if it's with that region, it's about a week plus. How can we modernize it? So instead of banks physically bringing checks to the central bank to exchange to the various clearing houses, we truncated it. So once you present your check, it's scanned and all the transmissions are done by GhIPPS. Before then, we had 10 clearing houses, but now we condensed everything to GhIPPS. And today in Ghana, checks are now cleared same day or next day. So you see how we have modernized the check clearing environment. Then you look at ACH. That's in the ACH clear direct credit. That's where electronic funds are sent to banks. Before that, if you are with if maybe you are with Bank A and your company is with Bank A, come payday, you receive your money same day. If not, you receive your money a couple of days later. But now in Ghana, the press of a button, bulk, everybody gets paid within 5 minutes using the ACH direct credit system. We have same day, next day, and we've even modernized it to ACH NRT, near real time, where bulk payments are paid within 5 to 15 minutes. So if you have a payroll file of about 500,000, at the press of a button, all of them will be paid, irrespective of where their banks and things are. So we are modernizing our systems, and it's because of the focus. We are not thinking about other sectors of the central bank, that the central bank has to look at inflation or whatever issues that they have. We are exclusively devoted to the development and rollout of the various appropriate payment systems. And then we realized that in the cards environment, we had the...
Dans un rapport publié par Africains, le Ghana figure parmi les pays les plus avancés sur le continent en matière de système de paiement instantané et inclusif. Par contre, le rapport indique que votre système n'a pas encore atteint le stade de maturité, chose qu'aucun système sur le continent n'a encore accompli. Que faites-vous pour y parvenir?
You're right. In terms of the report, it actually shown that when it comes to the bricks and mortar, the various aspects of that interoperability and inclusiveness is, Ghana has a tick in the box. I think that's what the report read. And others were along the journey. But when it comes to usage, that's where we have done it. So how well are you using it? So things like you have a population size of 31 million, a bankable population of 18 million. To what extent are they actually using it? And these products and services is one thing. The next thing is education, pricing. There's a whole host of things that would actually move it or take it to a stage where it is the norm in the country and is fully being used. And those are the areas that we are currently focusing on. Maybe it's not a question of, are we going to roll out something else? No. But how well is this sector using it? The retail sector, the mining sector, the education sector, the agri sector, the social intervention sectors. How well are they using our products and services in the real time? And those are the areas that we are focusing on, such that it becomes the daily thing. So if you look at our current volumes in comparison with our population, etc., you will see that it's at the very early stages. And that's basically what you are alluding to. So we are going to focus on these promotion, awareness, education things more going forward than coming up with new variants, etc.
Monsieur Archie Hesse, merci d'avoir été l'invité d'Africa 24. Merci à toutes et à tous d'avoir suivi cette édition de Décryptage.